Selling a home is stressful on a good day, right? But what happens when you find out it needs a brand new roof or worse, has some major foundation issues that you can't afford to fix? It can feel like you're completely backed into a corner. So let's dive into this problem, because it's more common than you think, and find a clear path forward.
So, does this sound familiar? Are you staring at a laundry list of repairs that could cost thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of dollars? You know the problems are there, you see them every day, but the money to fix them just isn't.
First off, if you're feeling totally overwhelmed by all this, that is completely normal. But I want to make one thing crystal clear right from the get-go. You are not out of options, not even close. In fact, you've got several very different paths you can take to get this house sold without digging yourself into a deeper financial hole.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the idea of actually fixing the problems. Then, we'll explore selling it on the market just as it is. After that, we'll cover the fast cash option. And really importantly, we're going to talk about the kind of repairs that can be total deal breakers for most buyers. And finally, we'll help you figure out which path is truly the best one for you.
All right, first up, let's explore what I call the fix-it route. This is the path for people who are thinking, hey, if I can just get these repairs done, I can sell for a much higher price. The big question, of course, is where does that money come from? Well, you generally got three ways to finance those big repairs. If you've been in your home a while and have some equity built up, you might be able to get a home equity loan or a HELOC. Then, there's a really interesting option called an FHA 203K loan. Now, think of it this way. This loan actually allows your buyer to roll the cost of repairs into their mortgage. It's a pretty clever solution that can work out for both of you. And of course, there's always the option of a personal loan, but just be aware, those usually come with higher interest rates.
And here is the classic balancing act with this route. On the one hand, yes, absolutely, fixing those big issues can boost your home's value, make it appeal to way more buyers, and hopefully get you a higher final sale price. But the downside is real. You're taking on brand new debt, you've got to deal with the stress and hassle of managing contractors and renovations, and it can take a long, long time.
So what if taking on a bunch of new debt and living through a massive renovation project just isn't in the cards for you? Well, that brings us to our second path, selling the home on the open market, but without fixing a thing. This is what we call selling as is, and it means exactly what it sounds like. You, the seller, are drawing a line in the sand and saying, what you see is what you get. I'm not fixing anything. The buyer is agreeing to take the property in its current condition, warts and all.
Now, even within this as-is world, you've got a couple of ways you can play it. The first is a straight as-is sale. You just list it, and you know buyers are going to lower their offers to account for the work they have to do. Simple. The other tactic is to offer seller credits. This is where you say, look, I'll give you $5,000 at closing that you can use for repairs. It doesn't cost you anything up front, and it can make your house a little more attractive to buyers because they know they'll have some cash in hand on day one.
Okay, let's shift gears completely and talk about path number 3. This is the most direct route you can take. It's the fast cash option, and it's all about speed and simplicity.
So this path involves selling your house to what's called a cash buyer. These are usually real estate investors or companies that specialize in buying homes directly from homeowners. And here's the key difference. They use their own money. That means no banks, no mortgages, no appraisals, none of the usual hoops you have to jump through.
The appeal here is pretty obvious, right? It's speed and certainty. The sale can happen incredibly fast. We're talking closed in a week or two sometimes. You don't have to fix anything, you don't have to show the house, and there is zero risk of a buyer's loan falling through at the last minute. But, and this is a big but, the offer is almost guaranteed to be below what you'd get on the open market. This is not the path you take to squeeze every last dollar out of your home. Now, this next part it's absolutely crucial, no matter which path you're even thinking about taking. You need to understand that some repairs aren't just inconvenient, they can actually stop a normal buyer from getting a mortgage on your house altogether. You've really got to wrap your head around this concept. Lenders for government-backed loans, like FHA or VA loans, have minimum property standards. If your house has problems that are serious enough, they'll see it as too big of a risk. They'll deem the home unfinanceable, and just like that, your deal with a regular buyer is dead in the water.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about here? These are the big red flags for lenders. Things like a roof with active leaks or serious damage, major problems with the plumbing or electrical systems, foundation issues, big cracks or signs the house is shifting. Significant termite damage is another huge one. Even things like broken or missing windows or not having flooring in essential areas can be enough for a lender to just say, nope. If your house has any of these problems, selling to a traditional buyer gets a whole lot tougher.
Okay, we've laid out the 3 main routes you can take. We've talked about the pros, the cons, and the major roadblocks. Now for the most important part, figuring out which of these is the right fit for you, right now, in your situation.
Let's just put it all side by side for a second. The fix-it route, it's the slowest, it's the most work for you, but it has the potential for the highest price. Selling as is on the market is that middle ground, medium speed, medium price, and pretty low effort. And the fast cash option is exactly what it sounds like. It's the fastest, with the lowest price, and requires almost zero effort from you.
Look, at the end of the day, there is no magic answer here. There isn't one right choice for everyone. It all boils down to a very personal decision, a trade-off between 3 things: your money, your time, and your need for simplicity. You have to decide which one of those is your #1 priority.
So I want to leave you with this one question, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. What do you value most right now? Is it maximizing every single penny of profit? Is it just getting this done and over with as fast as possible? Or is it about peace of mind, the relief of a simple, guaranteed sale without the headaches? Your answer to that question? Well, that's the answer that points you down the right path.